Designing the form involves the layout, design, functionality of the form, including the placement of the field at the bottom as well as the validation. Form design, the layout and the functionality of the form, including the placement, report design, interface, dialog design, and deliverable form. A method of interaction, command language, menu interaction, form interaction, object-based interaction. Natural interaction, dialog sequence design. First, the dialog design is used to define the sequence. Implementation, coding, testing, installation, documentation, training, support, software application testing. Advantage, cost effective development, product improvement, test automation, quality check, inspection, desk checking, unit testing, integration testing, system testing, black box testing. Black box testing is the system. Black box testing is the system software testing which is used to test the software without knowing the internal structure of the program. The system testing is carried out by the testers. White box testing. White box testing is a software testing method in which the internal structure is being known as the tester, which is going to be test the software. Generally, this type of testing is carried out by the software developers. Implementation knowledge is required by the white box testing. Programming knowledge is required. White box testing also means the structural test and interior testing. Is soft testing, user acceptance testing, acceptance testing is the testing in which the environment or history eventually use the acceptance refers to the fact that user sign into the system. Alpha testing refers to the user testing of completed information testing using the stimulated data. Discover whether the system is overly the destructive. Recovery testing force the software development to fall in order to verify that the security testing perform verify the protection mechanism built into the system. Stress testing, performance testing, beta testing refers to the user testing completed information system using the real data into the real user environment. In the beta testing, the subset of intended user run the system determine whether the software documentation, technical support, and the training activity work as an intent. In essence, beta testing can be viewed as a rehearsal of the initial installation phase. Software installation, the process of moving from the current information system to the new one, is called the installation. In this activity, all the users must give up their reliance on the current information, begin on the rely we will use depend on the scope of the complexity and the chance associated with the new system and the organization risk factor. Direct installation, changing over the from the old information system to the new by turning off in the old system. Parallel installation, running the old information system to the new one. Pilot installation, phase installation. mm, Documentation is the process of collecting, organizing, storing, and managing a complete record of the system. It solves the problem of independency of the individual or for the art organization as it provides the record of software development process including the requirement design. It makes the system easier to modify and maintain the future. The main maintenance is the proper dynamic documentation. It is easier to understand the system from system documentation or description of the system or detailed diagram of the system, source listing of the full detail specification, problem distribution, internal documentation, external documentation, user documentation. User documentation consists of written or the other visual information about the application system, setup and operational design, details of its system, logic, loading and unloading the procedure, check, a special check to end the security measures, quick reference guide. Maintenance, obtaining the maintenance request, transferring the request into the changes, designing the changes, implementing the changes, obtaining the maintenance request in the system. Formal process is established whereby the users can submit the system change request, transferring requests into the changes. Once the request is received, analyze must perform to identify the scope of the request, designing changes. Net change the request can be transferred or implementing the changes in this activity. Once the change is design is approved, purpose changing corrective maintenance, it refers to the change made to the repair defect in the design coding. Implementation adaptive maintenance, change in the organizational procedure, change into the organizational objective goals policy, change in the firm, change in the information need of the manager, change in the system control and security need, perspective perfective maintenance, change into the government policy, law, etc., economic and the competitive condition, new technology, preventive maintenance refers to the change into the made in increasing understanding and maintainability of your software. Preventive changes are reconstructing the optimizing the code, updating the documentation, executing the preventive changes, reduce the amount of unpredictable effect software can have on the long term, and it becomes scalable, stable, understandable, and maintainable maintenance. हो भइएछ फेरि हामी सुरुदेखि पढ्छौँ Software development life cycles is the software development cycle which forces software development organization is a plan, design, build, test, deliver the software application. The software development life cycle outlines the step and the stage involved in creating a software product from its initial planning phase to out the maintenance phase. The goal of SDLC is to ensure that the software is of the high quality. The SDLC process provides the structure and the systematic approach to the software development that helps to minimize the risks and ensure that the result of the high quality product. Planning, maintenance, analysis, implementation, design. Planning is the process in it. Purpose planning is made planning, maintenance, analysis, design, implementation, maintenance. There are the four main objectives performed in this phase: obtaining the maintenance request, transferring the request into the changes, designing the changes, implementing the changes. System development methodology of the software process model, traditional waterfall model. In this, the traditional waterfall model is the linear sequential approach to the software development life cycle (SDLC) that the popular software engineering product development. The waterfall model is the logical distinct endpoint that the goals each phase of the development. Those endpoints or the goals cannot be advantage of the waterfall model. Simple method and easy to use phase are clear. Unstable smaller disadvantage of the waterfall model. Planning, analysis, logical design, physical design, implementation, maintenance, spiral model or the development. Spiral model of the development is the important process for the software development life cycle which provide the support for the risk handling. In the diagrammatic representation, it looks like the spiral when the many loops are used. The risk handling good or for the large project, flexibility in the requirement, customer satisfaction, complex, expensive, too much dependency on the risk analysis, determining objective, identify it and resolve the risks, review plan for the next iteration. Agile methodology in the it is the iterative approach to the project management software development that helps the team to deliver the customer faster with the fewer headache instead of betting everything or the big bang launch. Agile main function value are the individual and interaction over the process and the tools, working software over the comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over the contract negotiation, responding to the change over the following plan, brainstorm design, development, quality assurance, deployment, extreme programming. An approach to the software development is known as the extreme programming (XPM). In the increase in the software responsiveness and in quality, it promotes the frequent release on the quick development cycle at the short agile software development. Other characteristic of the extreme programming case tool that they are the software tools that provide the automated support for the some portion of the system development process case and to support the wide variety of SDLC activity. Case tools can be used to help in the multiple phase of the SDLC project identification and the selection, project initiation and the planning, analysis, design, implementation and the maintenance. Diagramming tools enable the system process data and the control to be structured to be represented graphically. A computer display and the report generator helps to prototype how the system look and feel. Display for the form report generator make it easier for the system analysis to identify the data requirement, and the relationship analysis tools automatically check the incomplete, inconsistent, or the incorrect specification in the diagram, form, and the report. A general repository enables the integrated software storage, a documentation generator, documentation, SDLC phase key activity case tool uses agile methodology. It is a text iterative approach to the software development. Waterfall methodology. It takes the approach to the software development. It works well when the project is unknown. It works well when the project is before end. It allows the changes made even after the development start. It contract the Tom won't allow the chance to be made. Customer evaluation is important through this entire project. Customer evaluation is required only while provide the feasibility to oversee the development project. Flexibility is limited. Product are tested frequently for the bugs and error during the development cycle. Tested cannot be done during the cycle. Burst only tested at the end. Information system is the interrelated component that create, process, and store, retrieve the testimony of the information. Types of information system: transaction processing system, management information system, decision support system, executive support system, management information system, decision support system, transaction processing system, executive support system, export system. An interface is an engine that interprets the submitted against the rules of the logic of information stored in the knowledge base. Office automation system (AOS). Office automation system are designed to increase the productivity and serial knowledge of the worker, enhance the communication in the workplace. Office automation uses Gantt chart. It shows the duration of the task. It usually shows the dependency between the tasks. It shows the time overlap between the tasks. It shows the tasks that can be done in the parallel. It is employed for the small project. It is used for the large and the complex project. Visually shows the stack in the time schedule. Shows by the data in the rectangle. Object-oriented methodology: the main focus of the data in the real-world objects are that are important. The main focus on the project in the procedure on a system uses the incremental or the iterative methodology. Use the SDLC methodology suitable for the project with changing the user requirements, suitable for the project with well-defined user requirement, low reusability, high risk and low reusability. A project manager: initializing the project. During the project initiation, establishing the relationship with the customer, establishing the project initiation plan and the management procedure, establishment of the project initiation team, establishment of the project management environment and the workbook, developing a project charter, planning a project activity performed while planning the project, are the describing the project scope, alternative and the feasibility, dividing the project into the manageable tasks, estimating the resources, developing the preliminary schedule, communication plan, identifying and assessing the risks, executing the baseline project plan, monitoring the project process, managing the change to the baseline front plan, managing the project workbook, communication, project status, closing down the project, termination of the project, or conducting the post-project review, closing the customer contract, corporate strategic planning, corporate mission statement, statement of the overview, competitive strategy, corporate information, and the system planning, top-down planning, bottom-up planning, planning team is the chartered model extension, situation metrics are developed to the cross reference unit, define the target situation, update all the list of organization location and reflect the described location. Metrics are updated to reflect the future state. Planner focus on the difference between the current list and the future list and the metrics developing the strategy and the plan board comprehensive document. Project charter is the short documentation that is prepared for the both initial and the external stakeholder. It provides the high level of the overview of the project. It is the useful communication tools that helps to ensure that the organization ensure that the organization baseline project plan BPP it is the document that has all the information collected during the project initiation and the planning. Once the BPP is completed, a formal review of the project can play and conducted with the project client and other interested party. It has the four major sections: introduction, system description, feasibility assessment, management, and the issue. Project scope statement. It is the short document prepared for the customer that describes what the project will deliver and outline the work required to complete the project. It ensures the both developer and the customer gain common understanding of the project. It is very easy to create because it contains the high level of the summary into the BPP diagram. BPP diagram feasibility analysis. Feasibility analysis is the process of analyzing and evaluating the potential project of the venture. Economic feasibility. Economic feasibility is the type of feasibility analysis that assesses the potential financial performance of the proposed project or the venture. The goal of economic feasibility analysis is to determine whether the project is financially viable and identify the project with the financial risks. And BP technical feasibility. Technical feasibility, the assessment of whether the purpose project or the solution can be implemented with the existing technology and the resources it involves in determining identifying the technical requirement of the project. It includes the determining hardware, software, and other resources that are required to implement the project, assessing the availability of the necessary technology and the resources. Did include the determining the required technology and the resources that are currently available or they, if need, to be developed or acquired, evaluating and compatibility of the proposed solution with the existing system. This includes the determining the purpose solution that can integrate with the existing system and it is compatible with the existing infrastructure, estimating the cost benefit of the purpose solution. It includes the determining the cost associated with acquiring, implementing the technology and resources and the comparing them with the benefit of that project expected to generate. Variability, operational feasibility is an assessment whether the purpose project or the solution can be implemented and sustained within the existing organizational structure and the resources. It may be day-to-day operation organization necessary. necessarily identifying the organizational impact on the purpose solution. It includes the determining how the purpose solution will impact the existing organizational structure and assessing the availability of the mm, personal resources. This includes determining if the necessary personnel and the resources such as funding and equipment are available to the support the project, evaluating the compatibility of the purpose solution with an existing organizational policy and the procedure, and determining of the purpose solution consistent while existing the organization policy and procedure if they it will require the change to them, identify the potential operation risks and developing the risk management plan. This include identifying, establishing a support maintenance plan. That include the determining how the purpose the solution will be supported and the maintenance once it is implemented. Schedule feasibility is assessment whether a project solution can be completed within the specific time frame. It includes identifying the project milestone deadline, assessing the availability of the necessary personnel, resources, evaluating dependency on the tasks and the activities, identify the potential schedule risks and developing the risk management plan and establishing the project monitoring and the control plan. Legal and the contextual feasibility, the assessment whether a purpose project or the solution is complement whether the relevant law, regulation and the contract it involves in the determining if the purpose project or the solution comply with the legal and the contextual requirement that may apply to it, such as the environmental, health, safety, data privacy regulation. If it does not, what are the necessary steps to be taken as a complement of political feasibility is assessment of the whether the purpose project or the solution is likely to be supported and approved by the relevant political stakeholder and the decision maker. It includes identifying the relevant stakeholder, assessing the political priority, identify the necessary funding and approval, time value money. The time value money, the concept of that instead, the memory is present with worth more than the same amount of the money in the future. This is because the basic formula for calculating the present value PV, when the FPV net present value is the financial metrics that calculate the present value of the current cash flow generated by an investment minus the initial cost of the investment. It is commonly used to evaluate the economic feasibility of the project or the investment. The formula of the NPV is the NPV CF1 NR1 CFR2 N plus R2 CF1. Return on investment in the financial metrics that the efficiency of the investment and the cost by calculating the ratio of net gain or the loss from an investment into the initial investment cost. That evaluate the net gain or the loss from the initial investment commonly used to evaluate the economic feasibility of the project investment. Project investment net gain or the loss from the investment initial investment. Break even analysis and the break even point. Break even analysis is the financial tool that used to determine the point which of the revenue of the project or the investment consists. It is commonly used to the economic feasibility of the project. Economic feasibility